Breaking news out of London this morning. These are supporters of WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, and they are celebrating outside a London courthouse. A British judge this morning rejected a U.S. request to extradite Assange to the U.S. on espionage charges related to a massive dumping of classified documents a full decade ago. Assange's lawyer says they will now apply for bail on Wednesday of this week. Cindy Palm was watching the ruling and now the aftermath, and there she is from our studio in London. Cindy, why did the judge rule as she did?
Well, a judge ruled against extradition because she said she was concerned about Assange's mental health and that she feared that he could take his own life. There have been a lot of concerns over not just his physical well-being, but also his mental well-being over the years. So this case itself has had a lot of twists and turns, and it's gone on for over a decade. But U.S. authorities, they accuse Assange of espionage and conspiring to hack U.S. computers after the site that he founded, WikiLeaks, published hundreds of thousands of classified U.S. documents that were leaked by a former U.S. intelligence analyst, Chelsea Manning. And over the years, WikiLeaks has released millions of these documents. And there has really been two sides to this story, because Western security officials, U.S. government officials say that he put the lives of those listed in these documents in danger, while his supporters believe that he is a hero of free speech. His supporters, who you saw camped out of the courthouse once the judge made the decision today, his supporters also say that he is a hero for exposing what they believe is American wrongdoing in the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. However, even with this ruling that rejected this extradition request, his supporters still fear that others could be prosecuted. So take a listen to an official with Reporters Without Borders.
We remain convinced that Mr. Assange has been targeted for his contributions to journalism. As we all know, the publication of the leaked information informed extensive public interest reporting. The public had a right to these stories, and the public still has a right to these type of stories. We're concerned that this decision leaves the door open for further prosecutions in this regard.
U.S. prosecutors have indicted Assange on 17 espionage charges, as well as one charge of computer misuse. And if he were to be extradited and he were to be found guilty, these charges carry a maximum of 175 years in prison. But despite this ruling today, this case isn't necessarily over anytime soon, because what we're learning is that U.S. prosecutors have indicated that they are prepared to appeal this decision. Now, there's kind of another twist to this whole situation, too. The reason that Assange has been in the UK this entire time has to do with another case. So he had been camped out at Ecuador's embassy from 2012 until 2019, and he was forcibly dragged out of there in 2019. So he had sought asylum, which Ecuador had agreed to because of the fact that he wanted to avoid extradition to Sweden over a completely different case. It had to do with a rape allegation that Assange has denied. That case was eventually dropped, and so ever since then he had been in jail for breaching British bail conditions and remained in prison up until this extradition case, Heather. So the latest we've heard is that his lawyers are now going to appeal in order for him to get bail. But this is, of course, pending the American appeal that is expected to happen.
Thank you so much, Cindy Palm from London.